Hey everybody, and welcome back to Mel's Board Game Room. So today we're doing an unboxing video. Now I haven't done one in a really long time, mostly because when I do the unboxing videos, because I got a lot of game all at once and then I'm kind of showing everything I got. And I didn't really do that this time, but I got a lot of games just been trickling in here and there and then been collecting stuff. I've been getting gift cards from work. So every time I get a gift card, I get a game. I went to Red Deer and I made a point of stopping by the liquidation store there and then picked up a few games there. And then I just ordered a bunch of games. So I figure we should do an unboxing because there's been so much added to the collection. And yeah, so I've just been like, oh, I should do this. And I hadn't really taken the time to do it. So I was making a list of all the games that I acquired since my last unboxing video, which probably a couple months ago. And there was a long list. So we're going to have a lot of games to cover. Now, today I'm video recording this on Christmas Eve. So Merry Christmas. I've got my Christmas mug with my hot chocolate all ready to go. I have a ton of games to show you guys. But I'm excited for you guys to see all this. So what's the best way to do this? Like, do we want to do it like this? Because, yeah, let's do it like that. I'll just move my camera out a little bit here because I'm not looking sideways. I'm going to be looking down most of the time, but yeah, like I said, we got lots to talk about, so let's get started. First one I'm going to bring up is Blink. So this is one that I picked up at the liquidation store. It was probably, I think, $3 about. And was it? Yeah, I think that's where this one came from. So it's just a metal tin. It's a really neat two-player speed game. And it's just a deck of cards, that's it. But what happens is you're going to have like two cards out and then you're going to have cards in your hand. And you need to either match the color or match the number or match the symbol. And then I don't have any really that matches a symbol here. So you would place what you can, pick another one, and then I can place this one, pick another one. Now well, yes, I do, because I can match colors as well, right? And then I can match numbers, and I can match symbols, and I can match numbers and colors, and so on. So you do this until somebody gets rid of all of their cards. It is a speed game. I mean, it is very simple. It plays, what is it, like in a few minutes, right? But it's kind of tend to be one of those that's like, okay, let's do a couple rounds, and then you would play a few times. These are not Lee's favorites. He doesn't like the hectic feel in a board game, but I do. I enjoy these ones quite a bit. Also, I figured this is one that my stepdaughter would enjoy quite a bit, and she tends to be one of my my most player. Like, she's more out of my family member. Her and Lee are the ones that'll play with me the most. So I tend to get games that I think they would enjoy. But that was Blink, super cute. It was a cheap game and it was just a fun little filler game. Speaking of fun filler speed-based game, I also got Piles. Now, Piles is a game about sorting laundry, and it's probably all sorted now because it shows on here, depending on the number of players, how many sets of cards you're going to have. Every player is going to have 6 piles of 4 cards each, and there's 4 cards in the middle. And what's going to happen is you're going to try to match the article of clothing, right? So you want the same sweater, you want the shirt or the jacket, and so on. So you're going to have your piles, you're going to place one down in the middle, take something out, and change it with the piles. Because if you had toques in this one and toque in this one, and you want them to go together, you can't trade between your 2 piles. You got to trade with the middle and bring them back. And yes, it is possible that while you're doing that, somebody takes the card you were hoping for, but it's the first person to sort all their laundry. So when you have all 6 piles with each pile with one type of clothing in it, you win the game. Now it's kind of designed to be a little tricky as well, because you'll have like ankle socks and short, long socks. So you'll have like different kind of shorts, but some have zippers, some don't. Like, and you gotta have the same style together. So if you go too fast, you may not realize that what you're putting together is not really a match. And it's one of those with the magnetic clothes. But yeah, great game. Tons of fun. We've played this one lots already. I had played this game with just a regular deck of cards and you're just trying to sort the numbers. So you could totally play that way as well if you wanted. Me and Lily have. And because she was the one who had showed me that game with a deck card, I thought she would like this one, hence why it's in my collection now. So, piles. All right. I also got lately Winter Court. Now, Winter Court is by Rio Grande Game. This is the game that I purchased. I had a gift card, so I made a point of buying. Actually, I thought it was going to be bigger, but it's smaller. And this is actually a 2-player game that reminds me a lot of Battle Line or Shot and Totten. And what's neat with this one is like you have these different players, so you'll have like the different royals. I guess the story is it's winter, so we're all staying in the royal castle and we're trying to take that time to influence the royal members to kind of be our supporters. And if you get the 4 royals, then you win the game. But if you have the most at the end of the game, if you can't get all 4, because there's other members that's not royal members, but if you have the most points of influence on your side at the end of the game, you win the game. What's neat with this game over Shot and Totten or Battle Line is there's back and forth. So just because you've brought them to your side doesn't mean they'll stay. They can go back to the neutral zone, or they could go back to, like, they could go to the other player's influence side, right? And what's really cool is just because you have one on your side doesn't mean like you'll keep them, because you can always, some of them you can move them back to neutral to activate their ability. And so there's a lot more back and forth, and I thought that made this game more interesting. It's more strategic than Battle Line and Shot and Totten, because what you're doing can be reversed, or you may do something to kind of give it up so that you can activate a different action. This one is a lot of fun. I was really impressed with this. So that's Winter Court. And then it was winter theme, and it's, you know, it is the season. So, okay, I'm not sure where I'm going to pile all of these as I go, because there's so many. There's so many. Okay, so one of the ones that I had purchased is the Blockbuster game. So there's Blockbuster Party Game, and then there's Blockbuster and Chill Game. Now, the Blockbuster and Chill Game is a 2-player version. And I thought that would be cool, because what was really neat with it is I'm really not good at remembering titles or actors' names and the stuff like that. I find that's tough. I just have a terrible memory. But with this one here, and it's cool, like it's like, you know, like those old VHS, like they came in cardboard boxes, and then you had the VHS. Like, so, I mean, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, you're way too young. But so be kind, rewind. It's so cool. And then it opens up and you got your game in here. And what's really cool with this one is like you would pull up one out, and then, oh, that's a late fee card. That's not a category card. Let me find one. Oh my God, are they all late fees? What am I looking at here? Okay. Movie set in the future. So this is what you're trying to get the person to guess, the theme. And you would just start, like, you know, giving out movies that happened in the future. So, I mean, Back to the Future may not be the best one because it was in the past, it's in the present, in the future. But, you know, so you would list a whole bunch of movies that are futuristic. And the other player has to try to guess what the common link is between all the movies you're calling out. We played it and we did terrible. But I definitely want to play this again. I think this is a neat concept. I like, as I said, I like that it's not just trying to remember actors or something like that. It's not like trivia. But so that was cool. Now, Blockbuster Party Game, I haven't actually really, well, we haven't played this one yet, but this opens up. You have the rule, you have the Blockbuster sign that you're going to put up. You know, that was in the parking lot. Again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're probably too young. And you got the parking. So I think this is a bit more, is it monikers maybe? But one word, quote it, act it. It comes with the big potato game sticker. I have another one. And then this is like a buzzer. It's off right now, so that's good. Is it their battery? Do I need to get batteries? I need to get batteries for this. And then, like I said, I haven't opened it at all. So you have movies with genre, like Die Hard for an action, Groundhog Day for comedy. That's really all I know about it, because as I said, we were just, this one I don't think is a 2-player game. It's for 2 more players, so it's a party game. And because that, and it was just me and Lee, we haven't tried this one yet. And since the first one goes so well, I think this may be a party game that I need to play without, not with Lee. But I have a lot of players that I play with. Lee, a lot of time when I do game nights, isn't participating in those. He takes the advantage to go in the garage. So, but holiday is coming. We have family coming over. We'll be doing a New Year's Eve party. Having some party games will be fun. Not that I'm lacking party games, but I thought this one would be a cool one to add as well. So, Blockbuster. Nostalgic, right? I remember going to Blockbuster every week. It was so fun. Now it's just, you just have access to whatever you want to watch all the time. People don't know the struggle that we had to go through. All right, let me see what else I've got here. So Comic Hunters. Now I've done a playthrough of this when I was at the Mountain View County Comic Con, and then as well as when I was at FallCon. And this is a game that is so cool. Now, what's really cool about it is it's like a set collecting game. But every round, there's 2 different types of set collection you're going to do, whether it's drafting, whether it's bidding, or, whatever the different ways that you do it. And what's really neat as well is like each card is an exact replica of a comic book. That was, now for some people that's way cooler than it is to me. I was never big into comic book, but this game is so good. So somebody was selling it secondhand. I got my copy, super excited, and then like a week later, this game is now available on Amazon and like Amazon.ca as well, for much cheaper. So if you want this copy, this game, it's a good time to get it because, it's so accessible right now. Now, one thing that's cool is right now here, it shows you exactly what you need to do. And then it has kind of a quick instruction of how the type of set collecting you're going to be doing is going to work that round. It's a really cool game. One thing I have heard about this game is that the card quality is not the best. Mind you, it is like on Amazon, I think it was like 30, just a little bit of over $30 game. I think I paid 45 for mine. Rats, right? But it's a cheap game, so you could sleeve the cards if that's a concern for you. But it's well worth purchasing and having this in your collection because it is such a good game. So that was Comic Hunters. I had this one sent over to me. So the Detective Society sent me the Countdown to Chaos to give it a try. My friend Matt, who's actually does a lot of like escape room and escape games reviews, me and him actually played this one online. We not live stream, like we did a playthrough and then we just kind of posted it afterwards, just in case sounds was an issue. So spoiler alert, if you go and watch that, we play through the whole thing. Now, the Detective Society have a lot of different things that you can get. Like, they've got a lot of different mysteries. So if you watch this one, there's the next one with, like, there's a Murder on the Moon. I'm not sure what it was called. So you could see, like, if you watch this one, there's a lot of the ones you could get, but this just kind of gives you an idea of how it all works. It was really cool. I really enjoyed it. Like, we ended up going on some websites to get some clues. There was also like a chat that you could chat with somebody. I don't think it was an actual person like there, but I think it was like prompted, and you would type things and then they would respond, and it was really exciting. I really enjoy, well, I love this style. I love the genre. So, but this one was really cool, and I really enjoy how it worked. And doing it online like that, like we did, worked really well. So it was a lot of fun. And that's the Countdown to Chaos. Then I've purchased Medici. And I think this is just one that I got. And I'm kind of noticing my camera is low and I have some bigger games coming. We'll have to shift through. But this is one that I bought through a gift card that I got. So I was given a gift card at work, and I ended up getting this one. This is a game that I heard lots of good things about. Reiner Knizia, which is one of my favorite designers. He does a lot of like bidding and auction game, and this one is an auction game. And this is pretty much all I know about it, except that it looks really cool. I don't even know if I've cracked this one. I mean, like the shrink is off. So I've obviously opened it, but I don't think I've opened it very much, if you know what I mean. So we got the board. It looks really cool. This is a good looking game. We have the different player board. Oh, look all the bits. This is so satisfying. And then you got the ship. So they got a sticker on the one side. Oh, and they have white. White's my favorite player color. I always like to be white because I'm so pure. I don't know why white became a thing, but if white is available, that's who I like to be. So that's all I know about this game. I did get Medici, the dice game, and it was interesting. And I was like, hey, I should play the board game and see how it fits. And with the dice game, it was interesting because you kind of pick something for you, and you had to leave something for the other players. So you wanted to make sure you don't leave too much of good stuff for the other players. I don't know if that is represented in this game at all, but I'm excited to try it. So that's Medici, an auction game for 2 to 6 players. Okay, we'll put that one there. I got Harmonies. And this is another one that I bought with a gift card from work. It's not a pricey game, but it's one that you would hear a lot about. I've actually played this one now a couple of times, and I was so impressed. Now, I think some people compared it to Cascadia, and I could see why, but this is definitely next level. You have all these really neat bits that you're going to be stacking and placing out, and you have the cards that kind of shows what type of what's the word? So this is where you're gonna get from. It's kind of like Azul, where you're gonna take all the tokens from one. There'll be 3 on each one. It's double-sided depending on the number of players that you have. You have the player board that is also double-sided, so you would and then they score differently, so mostly the water from what I understand. This opens up here, and you have these little crystal bits and cards. And just to kind of show you, this will show like the different animal that you can bring in, and then when you bring the animal, you would put like one of those cubes on here, and then when you match this one wants the red 2 high and 1 yellow, then when you match that pattern, you would put one of the cubes on that location. Now you can only put 1 animal per location, so if there's a cube there, that's already been used, but you could use the other ones to create other locations. So your things does get filled up as you play. Like your board gets kind of filled up and gets a little hard to fit everything. And these cubes are super satisfying. Like, they look amazing. You need more yellow, then the yellows just doesn't come out. So there's that happening as well. So there's a luck element to it, but it's an interesting game. When we played it, I won. I won by 95 to 84 last time I played. So you have the player board. Now, if you use board game stats to track your games, they all have printed like score sheets on there. Like you, not printed, but the score sheets are available on there, so you can just digitally do it. And I do end up doing that quite a bit. But this game is so pretty, and the gameplay is really impressive, and it's really good. And I'm so impressed with this. So Harmonies was a great ad. And if you've already played it, then you know. And if you haven't played it, then you know it's worth taking a look. Okay, what else have we got? Okay, so I got Lorcana trading card game. So I have not played Lorcana yet. This actually came from Walmart, but it was a Christmas gift. Yeah, Lee and I have opened our Christmas gift to each other already, just because we're blended families. It looks like the kids weren't going to be able to be there at the same time, so we just kind of decided we'd do our own gift opening, just the two of us between the gift. Because I was like, oh, but who's going to watch us? And he's like, truthfully, I don't think any of the kids are going to care about gifts that aren't theirs, and it's probably true. But so this is one that I ended up picking it for myself, and I have a really large collection, so I'm probably pretty impossible to buy board games for unless you get a list. But this is one that have been intrigued. Now, it's a collecting card game, so I'm not a big fan of that. I like to have one game and then that's it. I'm not kind of continually adding to it. But this is kind of a base game, so I figured, well, that way I can play. We can give it a try. So I have enough in here. So there's 2 starting deck. There's 4 reward packs. There's 30 damage counters, 2 character movers, 2 character bases, 1 game board, 1 rule book, 1 guideline, and 2 deck tips pamphlets. So there's enough here to play this game and to just leave it at that. And that's my plan. I'm planning on having this and then just leaving it at this. We'll see what happens, but read this first. So, that's got some punching out to do. Like I've just took the shrink out, but I haven't really looked into this at all. But I don't know if Lorcana always comes with a player board. I think this is probably not necessary, but would make it kind of easier just to know where everything goes. From what I understand, this is like a Magic the Gathering kind of style to it. So we got the player board. We've got, I'm assuming these are do not shuffle. Really? Why would you shuffle them? But then we got the 2 starting deck, and then you've got 4 sets. I don't know if every one of these is the same or if you get different style, but it might be all the same. But so I have enough here to be able to learn how to play Lorcana and giving that a try. Like I said, this is all that I want to, as involved as I want to get, unless this game is just absolutely amazing and I end up getting more and more. But my plan is to have just this so I can play it. And if, have host event or whatever, there's enough for it to get played. So we got Lorcana, the trading card game, the Gateway Pack. All right. I also got Green Team Wins. Now, I've played this before. I've played my copy as well. This is like a really fun, kind of funny game. Everybody gets like a whiteboard, and you're going to have different things that come up. Is it a whiteboard or you just answer? No, I think there is a whiteboard. You know what? There's one way to tell. We could just open it and see what's in here. All right. So let's have a look. If we can get past this. There we go. So everybody gets a whiteboard. And you're going to have a card. Now there's 3 different kinds of card. There's either like a blank where you fill in the blank. There is best of 3 where you get 3 options. You would pick one, or there's a this or that. And the goal is you're trying to answer similar to everybody else. You want to be on the green team. So whichever is the most popular answer becomes the green team, and you get points for being on the green team. Now, if you're already on the green team and you remain on the green team, then you get more points. You're just trying to answer like you think most people would. And it's just silly fun, but it plays quick and it's entertainment. So it's just pure entertainment and it's a lot of fun. So green team wins. Put that one over here. And then I bought Ka-Blab. Ka-Blab is from Dollarama. Now Dollarama gets games all the time and you're kind of starting to find really great games. I didn't know if this one would be great or not. I have an extra copy as well, but look at the components. These dice are so chunky, it's ridiculous. They're like just plastic, like a little plastic dice, and then you got 1, 3, 2, so it's 1, 2, 3, and then 3 blanks. Some will have an X on it, so they're not all the same. This one has all 1s and an X. This one is a 1 and a 2, so there's only one that has the 3. And you have like explosion tokens, so you start with 3. If you lose them all, you lose the game. And you have your ticking time bomb, and it's gonna tick, and eventually it's gonna do a Ka-Blab, and you just don't know when that's gonna happen. And it's designed to be like a different time all the time, so you can't really like, okay, it's about to go off. You don't know because the timer changes all the time. But you would have a category, and depending on what you roll, you have to come up with that many frozen treats. So you would blur them all out, and then you roll the dice until you roll like all blanks. Then you don't have to answer anything, and you pass the bomb to the next person. They draw a new category, and then you get going with it. Now, if you roll the dice, there you go. So if you get where you roll the dice again and there's more numbers or more letters, I think you just roll the numbers again. Then you have to keep calling out more stuff in the same category you have. Me and Carla played this. Had a good time with it. Very simple, but it's just, yeah, the component, the silly fun. Ka-Blab is just, it was really neat. I enjoyed it. I'm glad I have it. It was $5 at Dollarama, maybe even $4. So it was worth the a few bucks that it was. And then, yeah, for the party, with Christmas, the holidays, this is one that would be good to go. So Ka-Blab. It does not come with batteries. Be pre-warned. Okay, so this game, I'm so excited about it. I saw it played at FallCon, and a bunch of us talked about it. I wasn't one of the ones that got to play. This is called Flick of Faith. Awesome, cool, and epic area-controlled flicking game. Now, what was cool about this one is this is basically Crokinole, but into a game, like into a much more of a game than, well, I mean, Crokinole is great and I love it, but this is a game, like Crokinole turned into a game. So they've used the mechanism and made a game out of it. So it says 1, vote for the law cards. Then 2, you flick your profit and get points for domination. 3, count victory points and win the game. So it has cardboard tokens, law cards. There's 4 double-sided god cards, victory point tokens, and you have a lot of the wooden disc that you'll be flicking, and they're different size. And then you have the mat that you're flicking on. So I thought just the fact that it was kind of taking Crokinole and making it into a game was so exciting. So I'm really, really excited for this. I haven't got to play it yet. And then I said I watched it, played it, looked like a lot of fun. And just because it's the Crokinole mechanism, this is why I got this game. So, Flick of Faith, super excited about it. Then the other day, Lee was going to Costco to do the Christmas shopping for the food. He's like, hey, before I go, anything else you need on the list? And we've been texting each other back and forth for like a couple of days, just adding stuff to the list. And I was like, ooh, a surprise. And he's like, oh, sorry, it's not on the list. So I texted him a surprise to put it on the list. And I expected, like, I don't know, a chocolate bar, a treat of some sort. But this is a surprise he brought me. Mancala. I didn't own Mancala. I had not played it. Now, I had played some games that referred to it. It's like, oh, this is Mancala style. So I was like, okay. So I know you grab stuff and you drop them one off everywhere you go. It looks super interesting. And you have these like little flat glass beads. We've actually played it a couple of times now. It's so good. So you start with, I want to say 3, but it might be 4 in each one of those. And you got one player on one side, the other player on the other side. And you can take yours, and then the color makes no difference. It's just for show. And then you would go from each basket, and then this is a Mancala, and then you would leave one in each one, and where you land is. Now, if you land in your Mancala, you get to take another turn, so that's cool. If you land and put one where it's empty, then you get to take this one, and you get to take the other player's beads across from that space. So you try to make sure that there's no empty spaces on the other side if you can. But you're trying to eventually kind of drop beads in your Mancala as much as possible, because at the end of the game is you tally up all of these, and whoever has the most wins. It's a very, very simple game. It's a neat 2-player strategy game. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, that was my surprise, and I love it. I was super excited for this. I can't wait to play it again. So it was so good. So Mancala, they had them at Costco. They have Villainous at Costco as well. Now we own Villainous already, but I didn't own Mancala, so that was great. Another one that I got lately is Holly Oaks. I bought this one with the gift cards for my work, and it just was one that looked really interesting. It's actually the same designer as Winter Court. Actually, I'm seeing him more and more around, and I'm enjoying his stuff quite a bit. Now, what's super cool with this game, it's a trick-taking game. And you have to follow suit. Now, the first player is whoever has the one of spring. So you start with spring. Everybody has to play a spring. If you can't play a spring card, you can play any other card. But if you play a summer card, which is the next season over, it changes the suit. And now all of a sudden we're in summer. So the change of the season was really interesting. The artwork was really neat and pretty. And then some of the cards will have like the little, well, I can probably show you. That would look better than trying to, oh, okay. Because you have these for counting points. And then you play your 8 cards. And then some of the cards have like the little square around the number and then the star. So the stars are point. This one is worth 1. So is this one. This one is worth nothing, but this one is worth 9. But the artwork looks so cool. I thought this was just amazing looking. I bought this for like wintry, Christmassy games, because to me, even though all the seasons are represented, this guy just kind of it screams Christmas to me, and I don't know why, but I just really love the look of it, and I thought it would be a great seasonal game to have, and I am really enjoying it. And we played this one quite a bit. Like, I've owned it less than a month, I want to say, and we've played it probably half a dozen times already, so I'm enjoying this one a lot. Holly Oaks, really good. Alrighty, what else do we have? Okay, I bought Turing Machine secondhand. This is one that I had heard lots about. And I was like, hey, I would be interested in giving this a try. But it's one that's like, I don't understand how this game plays. I know it's a logic puzzle type game that's based on the Turing Machine. And I had recently watched, what was it called? That's going to bug me now because I'm not going to remember. Imitation Game, I want to say. Where it's a story based on the true story of how they invented the Turing Machine. Great movie if you want to watch that. But so after that, I was like, hey, I kind of want to try this. And you put like all of the different cards in here. And the cards, so you have like these ones that will have the different ones. Those are like the solution cards. So it's like, how is this gonna work? Let me see if I can find. Oh, it's underneath here. That's why I'm not finding them. So you would have these punch cards, and you would take 1 blue, 1 yellow, and 1 purple, and depending on what you think the answer is going to be. I'm just going to go 111 here because that's going to work. So let's say that I think it's 111. I'll put this together, and then it would give me just one hole that would show up. So every time you put a different combination, one hole is only one that would show up. Then you line this up, and it would tell you whether this is correct or whether it's false. And in this case, this is not the correct answer. It is false. So the 111 is not the combinations that you need. But you have like these rules that you would come up, and then there's an app where you can use the game that kind of creates a different combination of rules for you to put together. But with the blue one here is like, blue is equal to 1 or blue is greater than 1. So I had put the blue as 1 here, and then it was a false. So then in this combination of what I had in there, blue is not equal to 1. So then I would know that for this combination. But every time, depending on the combination of rules that you put together, everything changes. It's so cool. It's a brain burner. Like, it's that type of game, right? Like, this is gonna work your mind. It's trying to figure it out. I personally love those kind of games. I love that style. I used to kind of take the kids' math books for all their puzzle games that was in there and then kind of do them all just for fun. So if this is not something that you like and you don't like challenging your mind, let's say, like, you're probably not going to enjoy this one. But I thought it was great. Loved it. And I thought I would enjoy it, so that's why I wanted to get it. But yeah, I am so impressed with this one, and so good. And that is Turing Machine. All right, what else did we get? So I went to a liquidation store. I met my one son for lunch. We hadn't seen each other in a while, so met for lunch in Red Deer. And just before I went there, we stopped by and I bought a couple of games from the liquidation store. So all the games are very reasonably priced, and it's like really cheap games. So, but so makes it worthwhile to kind of look. And then they have games. This one's the Grimm Masquerade. It's based on the Three Little Pigs or that kind of story. But it says, invitation to the masquerade ball and the beast castle have been delivered to fairy tale characters throughout the Grimm forest. And you're one of the lucky guests, but as soon as you pass through the magical gates, your appearance is transformed to look exactly like another guest at the party. Theme, the beast has a game of deduction and cunning plan to make it this an unforgettable evening. Plays 2 to 5 players, so it's like social deduction. So let's see what it says. 1, you search the castle for artifacts each round. Give away the artifacts to force other players to reveal information and keep the boon artifact that will help you win. Then 2, the more artifacts you play, the more evidence you'll gather to show who each player could be. Watch the other players closely so you can point the finger and unmask their true identity. And then 3, use all of your skills of observation, deduction, and bluffing to be the last player with a secret identity and win the Rose Trophy. So, okay, so I get the masquerade theme now. That's kind of cool. Let's have a look. Oh, I didn't even put this. So I haven't punched it yet, but this looks cool. I'm not sure what, like, the mirror or... But, yeah, so then you have the player board, which has the different characters. And I guess I'm assuming you know who you are and you're trying to keep your identity secret. And then you got tokens. You got character cards. And then you have the artifact cards, I'm guessing. So it looks like there's rules for a 2-player version as well. I don't know. Like, this sounds really interesting. The theme is cute. So I'm excited to try this one. But yeah, the Grimm Masquerade. And then, like I said, it was from the liquidation store, very cheap. So very excited to try this. All right, what else we got? Okay, so at the same location, I also ended up getting Gargoyles, and this one you can tell was $15. I haven't peeled this off yet. Now these ones were cool. Like you got the slots. I think there's like 3D components that you putting in the board, and I'll show the back of the box. I don't know why I didn't show it first, but there's the different like towers or buildings you're going to be building, and then you have like the minis of the Gargoyle TV shows if you ever watched it, and then you have these cool dice. I think those are neat. So the whole thing looks cool, like component wise. This is a neat looking game. Let me show you the back of the box that hopefully will show it a little bit better. I've actually heard good things about it. I've had some friends who had purchased it and bought it. But look at how good it looks all put together. That's a neat looking game. That's a very neat looking game. So there's 5 3D buildings that you would put together. There's 4 different episodes that you can play through. So I guess there's different scenarios you can play. And then the 6 different figurines from the show. I'm excited to give this one a try. Gargoyles. Okay, so, and then I also ended up picking up this one called Send It. And it's a snow sport board game. I bought this on Theme Alone. Like, it's the season, we're in the winter time now. I have never heard of the phrase send it or the term send it. I'm also not big into winter sport. I get cold easy, but I thought this would be so interesting. So I guess you're skiing, snowboarding. I'm not sure. So what does it say? Send it is for those times you want to hit the slopes but can't. Maybe it's the middle of summer. Maybe you're waiting for your next vacation, or maybe you're just tired from the day on the mountain, because no matter what, even when you can't ski or ride, you should be able to send it. It's a fast-paced game where you ski, ride, train, prepare, and send progressively harder runs as you race from the top of the lift to the first to be the first to send the final feature and reach the golden hot chocolate. Play a role to train and move while drawing separate cards to improve their chance of successful sending the next one. All while trying not to crash. Should you play it safe or just send it? So it's a dice game. There's dice into it. Let's have a peek in here. What have we got in this game? So you got all the different. Now my copy did get damaged. This one is all scratched up. The other side is fine. So I'm not going to be too worried about it, but I mean, that's too bad. But like, okay, so you got like this board that has like different things that you're going to be putting in there. So I am intrigued. So is it a roll and move maybe? I'm not sure, but you got some dice in here. And then I'd be like, ooh, roll and move, gross. But I have played Dice Hockey Challenge and absolutely love it. And it's another winter sport game, so I don't know. So 6-player cards, you can play up to 6 players. It looks interesting. I just thought it would be cool to kind of give it a try. And then just such a unique theme. Believe it or not, I don't really, other than the dice hockey one, I don't have a lot for like winter sports. So now I have 2. Okay, so we have that one. I also ended up picking up at the liquidation store Last Heroes. I just like the look of it because the whole box looked like a comic book. And I was like, hey, well, that looks interesting. I'm not sure a lot about it, but it looked neat. And like it does look like a comic book. The rule book, actually, I think the rule book is kind of designed as if it's a comic book. What does it say? Oh, it's in multiple languages here. So you load your weapons using ammunition shares by the other heroes, kill the monsters, create breaches towards the artifacts, and claim the most beautiful trophies. A forced cooperative head management game with only one winner. So I don't know, like I haven't heard anything about it. Is it going to be good? It's going to be interesting. It looks cool. Like I said, the rule book is made to look like a comic book. So I like that about it. It comes in 3 languages, so you got the French. Look, this looks cool. Components are really neat looking. I'm not sure how this works, but like you got the skull. There's a lot of punching out to do in here, so but like it looks like there's gonna be spinning thing, like they're gonna create spinning thing. They're punching out pretty easy. Oh, look at these ones. That looks amazing. And then yeah, like you got, I think that's the ammo tracker. So the components in this looks very cool. I cannot wait to give this a try just from the look of it. I think it's gonna be I think the look is gonna be cool. I don't know how the gameplay is gonna be. Like I said, I haven't really heard anything about this one. But that doesn't really mean anything. Sometimes there's so many games coming out, you can't keep track of all of them. And not every game is going to have like the same budget for marketing it. But I just wanted to see what it looks like on there. It's hard to see how it's going to work, but everybody gets one of those skull things. So it looks neat. All right, that was Last Hero. I bought this game from my friend and forgot all about it. And she's like, oh, here, I have this for you. I just hadn't seen her in a while. I was like, oh, yeah, I said I was buying that. Huh. So from what I understand is you work together trying to defuse a bomb and trying to do it before it goes off. There's 66 mission. Oops. So you have like, you got to match wires. So what does it say? There's a bomb full of wires and the countdown has begun. Who are you gonna call? You, the bomb busters. To safely defuse each bomb, you'll need to collaborate with your fellow team of bomb disposal expert. Use the wire you have in front of you to try and deduce your team's wire. Find and cut identical pairs of wire, but careful, if you snip the red wire, boom. Use your equipment wisely to get a dozen challenges, which gets more difficult each mission. Tick tock, tick tock. Can you figure it out before it's too late? So you're trying to figure out what the other wires are and cut them without exploding the bomb. Like it seems like a, what's the word? Like like a good team building collab game. So. But like that's nice bright colors. I think this looks so those are the different things you would go through. It looks really good. So I haven't tried this yet. I picked it up just a couple weeks ago and then I'd forgotten I had bought it. So yeah. So Bomb Busters. I think this will be a fun one to play. All right. Then I got Pictures. Now, Pictures was sent to me by Rio Grande Game. This is one that I've seen around. I was intrigued. I didn't understand how it worked at all. And I also ended up purchasing Pictures Christmas expansion. I ended up with 2 of them. I have one in this box here. This one I'll have to figure out who I know that has the game, the base game, to give the expansion to. But with Pictures, it was... So we played it a few times now, and it's really interesting because you have different pictures and you create a grid with them, and you have letters on one side and numbers on the top, and they're going to draw a token that's going to tell you which is your picture. In this case, B2, so the sunflowers. Then you're going to use the different things that are given to you to try to represent this picture. So one of them is you have stones and sticks, and you're going to put them together trying to represent sunflower. One of them is you have just these color cubes and you're going to create a 3x3, and then within the color of what you're putting together, hopefully they sense that it's a sunflower. Then there's wooden bricks that you can do to try to do, and then there's also shoestrings that you would put together trying to draw the image that you need. And then there's also cards that have different icons on it, and you would do a combination of icon trying to represent what your picture is. Now the Christmas one, and I was just going to see if it was showing on the back, but it doesn't. The Christmas one adds 2 more sets that you would add to it, and then of course more pictures as well. But then it adds like a plate, a Christmas plate with a bunch of like different cardboard pieces of ornaments. So it has like mugs. Ooh, speaking of mud, I have hot chocolate I'm forgetting about. Yeah, this is no longer hot chocolate, it's cold chocolate now, but all right, so you have like mugs or decorations or different things that you would put these together on the plate trying to do the image. And the other one is really interesting. You have a bunch of items, cotton ball, a cinnamon stick, a rock, like and all these things, and then you have a bag, a red bag, and you put things in the bag and you go by feel. So okay, well there's a cotton ball and a log, and that was to represent a bear on a log. That was in the pictures. But it was very abstract. Now what's interesting as well is once you do it and you try to guess everybody's picture, then you take the items you have and you pass it on to the next player and you get the next one. Now you have a whole new set of items you're going to try to express an image from. It was really neat. I really like this game. The Christmas expansion was really cool, especially for this time of year. So pictures. All right. Then I got, like I said, I got a lot of gift cards from my work, and I got one over the, like as a Christmas gift, a big one. So I wanted to get myself a big game for it, and I got Ankh. Now I have played Ankh before. It's part of a trilogy. The first one, Blood Rage, is probably one of my favorite game ever. And this is a game by Eric Lang. I have my camera too close, I guess. But yeah. So let me show you the components in here, because I'm just going to flip the box over instead of trying to open everything over. Okay, so you have bunch of minis. So like you have the minis for the players, and then you have the different minis that everybody's kind of would have access to. You have the map. It's an area control map. What's really interesting as well is depending on the character you're playing as you're playing the game, you're going to be leveling your abilities as your characters. But you need to decide what ability you're going to activate. So depending on where you put your token, what your your ability is, but then you're giving up the one you had before. It was really neat. Now the person I played with, it was his copy a couple of years ago. Now he had boxes upon boxes upon boxes because he had so many expansion. It was a Kickstarter edition. This is just a base game, and honestly, I don't want to give up that much space for one game. But I'm excited to have this in my collection, and that's Ankh, Gods of Egypt. All right, are we getting near the end? We're getting near the end. We're doing okay. Okay, so this is another one that was sent to me by Rio Grande Game, Dice Realm. Now, Dice Realm is really cool, and it's another Tom Lehman game. And I'm going to show you guys because I've spent like an afternoon organizing this. And it has, I'm going to see, like it tells you in here how to set all of the different discs. So there's like instructions on how to put everything together. And then I think maybe this one as well. But so it takes a moment to organize everything because you have, and then it's great. Like you have the trays and the lids, and then you just have to sort everything, and you get a little tool for prying these off. But you're going to be changing the faces of the dice as you're playing. So, and I've kind of created bags of what the players would get. These are the extra dice, but every player would kind of have access to this. Now, They wouldn't have access to all of these resources, but depending on the number of players, how many resources are in play. So I've put that in there. So you would kind of open, if you have 2 players, you would have like all of these that are open. You have your little tool for prying the disc because you have the dice and you can change the faces as you play. Now, some of them you go and you can upgrade from a level 1 to level 2 to level 3. And some of them you can kind of upgrade adjacently. So it's like, okay, well, I have a level 2 in here now, so I could trade it for a different level 2 that would give me different abilities. I was watching a bit of a tutorial on it as I was organizing the whole thing. I am very excited to play it. I can't remember what I have in here. Oh, these are tiles. So that's what's in the big bag. Is you got all these different tiles, and this is a massive, massive bag, which I love. I don't have that problem, but my spouse has huge hands, and every time there's a draw bag in a game, his hands don't fit in them most of the time, so he gets frustrated with that. But I've heard lots of amazing things about this game, so I am very, very excited to give this a try. It's all organized now and ready to go, so I'm just kind of waiting for a game day where I have some of like my heavier players that'll actually want to spend the time to play this. But Dice Realm, which was gifted to me by Rio Grande Games. Okay, so what else have we got? I've covered this one. Oh, this is from the liquidation store as well. Lemming Mafia. It looks super cute. It's a bidding game. So what's happening is you have these lemmings that are making their way down, and they'll eventually reach the dock, and they're going to jump in the water. And you're trying to bid as much as possible on the middle lemming, from what I understand. But depending on where they land and what they do, they could get stuck for a bit and then they don't move forward, or they could get released and then kind of get moving forward. So you know, like who's in the lead may or may not be the first one to jump off. You just don't know. So it seems like a funny, interesting game. Look at them. You have all these little actual little lemming that's going to be on the board. So component wise, I thought these were just adorable. Let me open one. Like I haven't even opened them yet. Well, and we're not going to need this bag anymore. So we'll put that. Is it going to be hard to open? Nope. All right, let's have a look at these. They're like made of like a rubber plasticky material. But look at them. How cool is this? They look so good. So they each have like a different color tie and hat. And you're just bidding on who you think is going to fall in the water first. Or not necessarily first, but not first, not last, in the middle. Like I said, I'm not sure how this is all going to work. Oh, look, they just fit in there perfectly. I just thought this was such a cute game. From the liquidation store. It was really, really cheap. I'm not have like tons of expectation out of this, but I think this will be just silly fun. So I'm excited to try this. And that's Lemming Mafia from the liquidation store in Red Deer. All right, let's see what else I have. Oh, so I bought this one here secondhand. I had played it before. I had enjoyed it, and I was like, I think if I ever come across this, I want my own copy. And then I was at Scare Treat over Halloween at Carla's restaurant. She held a board game day, and I picked up my game of Obsession there. So this is like, you know, strong Downton Abbey, Pride, Prejudice era kind of quality to it. And it's a deck building game. But what's really interesting with this is you're going to be collecting these different characters, and then you're going to send them to do different activities, and you can send them there. That's going to give you points or whatever. But depending on the characters and the activity you send, they're going to require staff. You know, they might need a butler, then they might need housemaid, they might need, so you need to have the appropriate staff available to assist them to complete the activities you want them to make. Now for your staff, if they're like helping like one of your guests, they can't be helping the other guests as well. They're already busy with the one. And as they become available, like, well, they're going to need to rest first, right? Like, it's exhausting taking care of all these people, and then they come available as well. So it has a really interesting management that you got to keep in mind as well. So like I said, I've played this game before. I really liked it, liked the style. And the one I bought also came with the upstairs, downstairs expansion, which I do not know, honestly, what all it adds. It looks like it maybe adds new characters. So maybe another player. Like, does it say on there? Upstairs, downstairs, an expansion that supplies gamers with new options for mitigating your fate. But true to the game spirit, the mechanisms are intertwined with the theme, specifically in the unique abilities of new domestics, the cook, the hallboy, the head housemaid, and the useful man. Here is just a sampling. Oh, so you get new staff that you can add to your household, I guess. 1 to 6 players, 30 to 180 minutes. But so I bought this one because it was so cool. So the upstairs, downstairs for Obsession. Such a neat game. All right, and now I'm at the end here, and I'm just going to show you one more thing I got. Hold on, it's super heavy. Oh, I can't get over how heavy this is. But this is my Pirate Gold poker set. This was a Christmas gift I received from Lee. Let's open this here. Oops, it's a little... Okay. So it comes with 2 decks of cards, and then it comes with all these poker chips. Now, I might play this to play poker, but I'm probably just going to use this as money to use in games. So you have, like, the black ones that have, like, the hole inside. They don't have, like, a designated currency to them, but they look really cool. Like, it's great. And like I said, they're hefty. Like, this box is very heavy to pick up and carry around. Look how good these look. So you got the 2 that have the holes in it as well. Then you have like the silver one, and then you have the gold one as well. Like, it's such a cool looking coin. I am loving this. And you have, like, the main master coin here, and I think has a first player marker, and it's like the Kraken. It looks so good. I am absolutely in love with this. This was one that, like, you could see on Facebook, had ads over this all the time. And I remember me and Lee were talking. I was like, I've been thinking, I think I deserve them. I was just teasing about it. But he had already bought them at that point anyways. He bought them on that ad, and it got delivered through Amazon. So it's kind of a bit of a surprise with that. And then there's, like, room for more here. And then there was 1 extra gold coin that didn't fit, so I'm just putting it down here. And then you have the deck of cards. I opened the one. I'm off screen here, so I've opened the one. It's just a deck of card. It's actually kind of, it's nice. The cards are really cool looking, the back. And then you have, like, it has, like, a double... See some of the red ones. So it's just regular deck of cards. Like, the cards are nothing super fancy special. They're good quality deck of cards. They're not like the plastic or anything like that, which is nice because they don't go sliding everywhere. I haven't played them. Let's give them a quick shuffle. They're nice. I mean, it's just a nice deck of cards. Are there jokers in here? I want to see what the jokers look like. Of course, I had to shuffle them first. Oh, there they are. So it's just, pirates. That's cute. And then, what is these? Just charts of account. I'm not sure if you're supposed to write on there. It just shows the lower to the higher. But yeah, so you got gold, silver, bronze, and black. But yeah, So super excited about it. It came with like all the coins were in a bunch of little different baggies that you had to open up and fit in the tray. It did have but like all the baggies are cloth bags. So there's a bunch of cloth bags that like have the pirate gold symbol on it that came with this. And then the wooden case to put everything in it. But like I'm telling you, this is really heavy. But so that's the last one I'm gonna talk about here. Let's bring this. Whoops. We want this one, but we want this one up here. So yeah, so this is my unboxing of all the games I got lately. I'm not expecting a ton more over the holiday. That's not true. I'm not expecting tons more to be gifted to me over the holidays, but I do have an order that's coming. So when that comes, I'll do an unboxing of those. I don't know, it's like half a dozen games in there maybe that's coming. Mostly little games, but so yeah, those are some of the games I got. Now I know it's like I said, it's Christmas Eve today. So if you're getting any games for Christmas, do let me know what you got. I'm curious. I enjoy getting games almost as much as I enjoy seeing what other people are getting as well. So thanks so much for tuning in. Be sure to follow me. I'm just going to show you the different place where I can be followed on my different social media. And have a great Christmas. Bye, everybody.